It didn't start with a photo or a palace memo. It started with silence. Prince Harry vanished for 3 days in Botswana. No public appearances, no answered calls, and even his security detail seemed to fade from view. What filtered back to London was a simple message. Harry had panicked. And if whispers are to be believed, Meghan Markle was furious. Behind closed doors, it was chaos. The kind that rattles even the most carefully curated image. What made this more than just a personal crisis was what followed. The mainstream press, usually quick to latch onto royal disruption, seemed unusually calm. Instead of headlines about Harry's disappearance, we saw think pieces on reconciliation. The Daily Telegraph called for Charles and William to welcome Harry back, dressing it up as compassion, even inevitability. But it felt scripted. Less news, more narrative. Not everyone played along. Angela Levin, Harry's longtime biographer, called it what it was. To her, Harry is not fit to return under current conditions. Forgiveness, she argued, without change, is simply a blank check for more drama. Bringing him back now wouldn't heal. It would infect. Harry's retreat to Botswana makes sense when you understand his history. He's escaped there for years, often with old flames like Chelsea Davy, seeking mental clarity in the bush. After a string of PR missteps and a Netflix deal reportedly teetering on the edge, his flight to Africa looked less like adventure and more like retreat. But silence carries a cost. Disappearing from one's family, especially with young children involved, leaves a mark. Kids don't see crisis management. They see absence. And for Meghan, already feeling under siege, the pressure mounted. She absorbs criticism not as feedback, but as personal attack. That anxiety often pushes her to tighten her grip on the narrative and on Harry. Inside the palace, the mood is growing tense. Aides are tired of the steady drip of olive branch stories. It feels orchestrated, a playbook Meghan and Harry used when stepping away. Leak a story, control the optics, and make the other side look heartless if they don't respond. But now, the stakes are much higher. King Charles is in treatment for cancer and needs calm, not chaos. William is carrying most of the public load. The last thing they need is a tabloid circus about whether Harry can stand in a family photo. And yet, looming over it all is a rumor that Harry is working on a second memoir. Spare was already damaging. A follow-up could be worse. The concern isn't one bad chapter. It's about trust. You can't rebuild bonds with someone who might turn private moments into published ones. Meghan's own media trajectory is also faltering. The Netflix deal, once pitched as their golden future, is reportedly on the verge of collapse. Her productions haven't performed. The platform may now only offer a scaled-back first-look deal, far from the multi-million-dollar promises that started it all. The stress is showing. Meghan recently bristled at a basic question on a podcast about her future projects. Her reply, an uncomfortable, "I'm not ready to talk about that," was a rare glimpse of insecurity. Even her mother has reportedly stepped back from the spotlight, choosing peace over participation. At home, the tension is thick. Harry's absence in Botswana likely tapped into Meghan's deepest fear, being sidelined. And as stories of solo reconciliation swirl, her grip only tightens. Insiders say she dreads the idea of Harry reconnecting with the royals without her. But that's exactly the condition quietly circulating among palace aides. Any future conversation with the king or William should exclude Meghan. It's not official, but it's understood. That leaves Harry stranded, caught between a wife under pressure and a family he no longer trusts. He doesn't call Charles directly. He doesn't casually text William. Every message goes through aides and lawyers. The system is now built on protocol and suspicion. As the Well Child Awards approach, Harry will return to the UK. And the concern is real. He may request a last-minute meeting with the king. If Charles refuses, it could be painted as heartlessness. If he accepts, it risks headlines suggesting a false reconciliation. Aides, already worried about the king's health, have drawn a line. No meetings at Balmoral. The king's health is not a PR tool, one senior aide said bluntly. William's position is even firmer. He has seen too many private gestures turned into public stunts. He's told those close to him he won't allow his wife or children to be dragged into another staged reunion. If Harry wants healing, it must happen quietly, and without cameras. That's a condition Meghan likely won't accept. To make matters worse, industry insiders say Netflix is preparing for a potential Harry-Meghan split. It's a cynical calculation, but telling, the belief that divorce drama may be the only content that still draws a crowd. Their brand, once pitched as visionary, is now treated as reality TV. That's the heartbreak at the center of it all. Two kids growing up away from their cousins. Meghan, once hopeful about reforming the monarchy, now isolated from it. Harry, stuck between two worlds, one he no longer trusts, and one that may be slipping from his hands. The palace, caught in the middle, continues walking on eggshells, hoping one wrong move doesn't finally break what little remains.